Welcome back to Ant's Boxing Channel. I want to talk to you guys about Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora. My prediction and my breakdown. And here's how it goes, right? Tim Tszyu is the shorter guy who fights out of the orthodox stance. Sebastian Fundora, much taller, standing at 6'6", with an 80-inch arm reach. Tim Tszyu stands at about like 5'8", 5'9", I would say 5'9", and he got like about a 70, 72, 71-inch arm reach. So Sebastian Fundora has an 8-inch, let's just call it 72. He has about an 8-inch reach advantage on Tim Tszyu. And on top of that, he has a, 3 inches plus 6, a 9-inch height advantage on Tim Tszyu. Now, Sebastian Fundora fights on the inside. He's an inside fighter. He likes it on the inside. He throws a lot of uppercuts and a lot of hooks. Uppercuts and hooks, like open shots. He doesn't throw a lot of straight punches, right? Tim Tszyu, on the other hand, he throws a lot of open hooks as well. Uppercuts too, but mostly hooks. But Tim Tszyu throws a lot of 1-2s. He loves the 1-2, pop, 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 pop. Straight punches. He loves the 1-2. Now, if you look at a common opponent that they had in Brian Mendoza, Brian Mendoza was able to outbox Sebastian Fundora because he maintained the lead foot positioning. Look at Sebastian Fundora highlights. Sebastian Fundora has no regard for lead foot positioning. Brian Mendoza was able to capitalize off of that against Sebastian Fundora, and he was able to land straight rights to the body and a lot of lead hooks. Out of the orthodox stance, a lot of lead hooks, which is that left hook, to Sebastian Fundora's body and a lot of right hands to the body. And he was able to move to the weak side of Sebastian Fundora, which is to the outside, away from the left hand, to take away his power. When you see Brian Mendoza fight, who is it? Tim Tszyu. He couldn't maintain. It's a close stance fight. So it's like, it's two orthodox fighters. So the lead foot position isn't as crucial, but he wasn't able to outbox Tim Tszyu the way he was able to outbox Sebastian Fundora, in a sense of using his skill. He wasn't able to head movement and all that upper body movement. He wasn't able to avoid Tim Tszyu the way he was with Sebastian Fundora. Tim Tszyu's straight punches was more effective. Now, I bring that up just to bring up the lead foot positioning, because Sebastian Fundora struggled with lead foot positioning against Brian Mendoza, and that was an open stance fight. Now we have Tim Tszyu, another open stance fight for Sebastian Fundora. And I went back and I saw some Tim Tszyu fights when he fought southpaw fighters. And this part was interesting because Tim Tszyu has only faced, I think, 2 or 3 southpaws in his whole career as a professional. He has 24 fights with 17 knockouts, and he's only faced 2 or 3 southpaws. And those 2 or 3 southpaws he fought were like within his first 7-8 fights. So they were early in his career, and they were very low-level opposition. So they weren't crafty southpaws with good footwork that know how to move and stuff like that. They were very low-level opposition. One of the guys quit. But all of that aside, what I want to point out is that in those fights against southpaw fighters, Tim Tszyu established his lead foot positioning, and he relied heavy on his right hand, which everybody knows in the open stance, a southpaw's kryptonite is an orthodox fighter's right hand, and the orthodox kryptonite is a southpaw fighter's straight left hand, right? Tim Tszyu showed us in those fights that against the southpaw, he establishes the lead foot position and he lets off the 1-2 with the right hand, which is the kryptonite, right? Now, Sebastian Fundora against Brian Mendoza, open stance fight, he didn't throw that straight left hand nowhere near enough at all. And the reasoning behind that is his style. When you look at Sebastian Fundora's style, Sebastian Fundora doesn't have an outside game. He doesn't have a game dependent on his jab or controlling the distance. He doesn't have a mid-range game where everything is coming from right there, right? Sebastian Fundora's game is inside. It's inside, tight guard, inside, pop, uppercuts, boom, looping hooks and uppercuts on the inside. So he don't care about that lead foot position. It doesn't matter to him. That's why against Tim Tszyu, it's going to be very interesting to see how he takes them right hands. Because when Sebastian Fundora fought Brian Mendoza, he didn't he didn't have to answer to a lot of right hands because Brian Mendoza wasn't throwing it as much. Because Brian Mendoza for Sebastian Fundora more technical. Tim Tszyu isn't that type of fighter. Tim Tszyu is gonna come in more aggressive. So them right hands will be coming in, and he will catch Sebastian Fundora with it. Now it's not gonna be easy because Sebastian Fundora, like I said, he excels on the inside. That's his fight. That's his game, is inside fighting. So Sebastian Fundora is going to let Tim Tszyu close the distance. He's going to let him get on the inside. But where he might mess up is in letting him take the lead foot positioning in the process. My prediction for this fight is Tim Tszyu by stoppage. I think Tim Tszyu is going to be able to take the lead foot positioning. And I think those right hands, mark my words, Tim Tszyu is going to land right hands on Sebastian Fundora. And when he does, if he clips him, if he hurts him, Tim Tszyu is going to unleash with hooks to the body and up top. Look at when Erickson Lubin fought Sebastian Fundora. He was able to hurt Fundora, and then the looping hooks is what was able to floor Fundora after he hurt him, right? I think Tim Tszyu is going to be able to do just that, but it's not going to be easy. I got it 60-40 in favor of Tim Tszyu. It's going to be very difficult because keep in mind, the southpaws that Tim Tszyu faced was very early in his career, and they were very low-level opposition. They were also regular-sized human beings. They weren't 6'6" with an 80-inch arm reach. That's going to be very difficult to overcome. That's going to be a very big gap to close. But I don't think it's going to be too hard because Fundora is going to allow you to close that distance because he wants you in his face so that he can let go of them uppercuts and them little shots on the inside while he maintains his tight guard. If Tim Tszyu gets lackadaisical and gets comfortable on the inside, Fundora can hurt him. Fundora can hurt him and put him to sleep. So Fundora is in this fight, and Fundora can stop him. Even though Fundora's 2 weeks notice, that is advantageous for both guys because Tim Tszyu has been in a serious camp preparing for a real fight. Fundora has been training, but I don't think Fundora wasn't preparing for somebody like a Tim Tszyu. But Fundora's a southpaw, something that Tim Tszyu has only faced 2 or 3 times in his career at the early stages. On top of that, 6'6", 80-inch arm reach, Tim Tszyu ain't used to that. Damn near nobody's used to that unless you fight in that cruiserweight or heavyweight. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to be a very interesting fight, a very dynamic fight. I think it's going to be action-packed. Both these guys will come forward. But I do believe that at the end of the day, Tim Tszyu's ability to use the 1-2, which is a southpaw's kryptonite coming from an orthodox, is going to make all the difference. He's going to have the lead foot positioning. He's going to use the 1-2. And Fundora will most likely allow him to close the distance. Fundora doesn't use the left hand like that. He doesn't use the 1-2 like that. That's an orthodox kryptonite versus southpaw. Fundora already doesn't do that as much. Fundora already doesn't care about the lead foot positioning. So Tim Tszyu will have the advantage in this fight. On top of that, Tim Tszyu probably hits harder than anybody that Sebastian Fundora has been in the ring with. So, you know, it's going to be a very interesting fight. Like I said, I favor Tim Tszyu to win by stoppage. If you want to know what round I believe he'll stop him by, I don't think this fight goes past 6 rounds. I don't think it goes past 6 rounds, and I think Tim Tszyu wins 4th or 5th, but definitely I don't see it going past 6. But it's going to be as long as the fight lasts, both guys will have success. Both guys will land some bombs. I just think that Tim Tszyu is going to land the bigger, better shots. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fight to watch. Don't miss it. Make sure you don't miss it. Y'all make sure y'all comment below. Engage with me in the comment section. And let me know what you think of this breakdown and this prediction. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Does it sound like I know what I'm talking about? Does it not? Am I full of baloney? Let me know. I want to know. Because if I'm full of baloney, then I got to get the baloney out of me and I got to make an adjustment. But I won't know unless you let me know. So let me know. You know what I mean? But anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, I love y'all. Peace and blessings. That's it for Ant's Boxing Channel. I'm out.